What's up, everybody? My name is Parasite. Welcome back to Over the Top with Manchester City. Today we start the second season of Over the Top with a Community Shield match against Arsenal. Then we have the first Premier League game of the season against Newcastle. We've made a few signings. If you didn't see the off-season special, we've made a few signings, some big signings, but we still have $220 million in the bank in transfer budget, that is. We have $386 million in the bank in terms of balance. So we've got a lot of money to spend. But I'm not going to spend it just because I have it. I mean, I kind of have done that already, but I made a few big signings that I think we needed. If you look at our transfer history, Romelu Lukaku has been signed for $112 million. I really wanted Harry Kane. They would not sell him for any price. I offered $250 million, and they just flat out rejected it. They would not sell him for any price, so I could not get him. So I thought Romelu Lukaku was the second best option. He's going to play deep line forward on support for this team. He's not a false nine. I think he's going to be fine at that. He just doesn't have vision, but just as a hold-up player, bringing other players into the game, he has got 19 teamwork, but he's able to finish the plays off themselves. He's got good finishing, good composure, decisions, anticipation. He's a physical monster, 6'3", so he gives us something in the air that we never really had before. I just think he's a great signing. It's a lot of money for a 28-year-old, but we needed a striker desperately. If we can get 4 Champions League final appearances from him, which might be a little hefty, but it'd be worth it in that case. Our second signing was Eduardo Camavinga. Obviously, like the best young midfielder in the game. I felt like I needed a third option to defensive midfield. I've got Fernandinho and I've got Rodri, but Fernandinho's like 37 years old. So I needed a young option. He's 18 years old, so he can get homegrown at club. Like I said, he's got the best potential in the game. Him and Yusufa Moukoko both have the top potential you could ever have. One of the first players to have that in a long time in Football Manager, so I think I just had to sign him. I'm also playing another formation for away from home that uses 2 DMs. So I did need another defensive midfielder for that as well. So Camavinga is going to be that option. Our third signing was Englishman Jack Grealish for $57 million. That is really cheap for an Englishman. Usually they have like exorbitant prices, but $57 million, which is less than his value, I had to do it. If Ferran Torres is going to be our backup striker, which I plan on him being the backup striker, then I needed somebody on the left-hand side. Jack Grealish can do that. He can play in the midfield. He can play on the right. He's just super versatile. Play every position we might need him in, so I had to sign him. Unfortunately, he went like 3 weeks after he was signed, went and broke his lower leg. So he's out 8 weeks to 3 months. So I had to bring in another option just until he's back from his injury because I needed another left-inverted winger. So I signed another player just on loan. So he might be going back in the January transfer window once Jack Grealish is fit and healthy. But I needed somebody. Another signing we had is Gabriel Barbosa. There is some news on Gabby Jesus. You might be seeing it on the right-hand side, but we have signed Gabby Barbosa for $16.5, raising to $18 million. And we have sold Gabby Jesus for $97 million. So if we compare Gabby Jesus and Gabriel Barbosa, where is Gabby Jesus? He's not on this list. Okay. Now can I compare him to Gabriel Barbosa? There he is. They are nearly identical. Like, literally nearly identical. I sold one for $97 million. He's 24 years old. I bought one for $18 million. He's 24 years old. That's just good business. That's just really good business. So I couldn't turn that down. Gabby Jesus was not good for us last season. I'm hoping Barbosa can be. But I just couldn't turn down $97 million for Gabby Jesus. He had 4 goals and 28 appearances in the Premier League last season. That is horrific. And only 5 assists. So it's not like he was really being a creator. He was just doing nothing. He was so bad. So to get $97 million, like we're pretty much handicapping Arsenal by making them have to play Gabby Jesus. So that's good business by us. Another signing was just a youngster, Wadiao, just a regen that has 5-star potential. We signed him for compensation. And then Lucas Chitty, just another youngster we got for pretty much compensation. 4-star potential. He had 5-star when I signed him. Fortunately, now they say only has 4-star, but still is a fine deal. Plays center back, can play defensive midfield, can play right back kind of, but he has 4 dribbling, so I'm not sure about that. He's only 5'11", so can he really play center back? I'm not sure, but if he grows, he can be fine. Any other sales? Patrick Roberts was sold for $8.25 million. He just doesn't have any potential. 2.5-star potential. He's only a championship player, so to get $8.5 million for him, I think is a good deal. Another youngster, Josh Adams, who has 2-star potential, I believe. Yeah. So to get $1 million, $1.5 million for a guy that has 2-star potential, That's up to $3 million. So it could be a pretty big pay rise. So we've also signed a couple other youngsters that just don't have any potential. In terms of the other signings, we made a couple other signings. One is Nuno Mendes for $45 million. I had thought if you saw the transfer episode, you might not have seen this one. You would not have seen this one. But I had a scout report come across my desk, and I had to think about it, and he turns into one of the best left backs in the world. I've had him once in my Barcelona save that I did, personal save, and he was amazing. He was the best left back in the world, so he's got that potential, and he was available for $45 million, which I think is a good deal for Nuno Mendes. I couldn't turn it down. Obviously, David Alba's joined on a free, but he's 29 years old. He's only got like 3, 4, 5 years left in him, so why not get Nuno Mendes? He's going to be the best left back in the world. Can take over from Alaba once he loses some of his physicals. I loaned him back to Sporting for this season because I didn't need him because we've got Mendy, we've got Zinchenko, so I didn't really need Nuno Mendes. So I signed him and loaned him back to Sporting. David Alba, of course, signed on a free. Milicevic, just a youngster, is Argentinian, but he's also American. So I mean, he's only 3-star potential, but to get him on a free, I'm not too worried about it. He looks decent actually right now, so he'd be useful for the first team. And then Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is a loan signing that's going to be really the replacement for Grealish while he's injured. He can play all the same positions Grealish can, anywhere in the middle, and play on the left, play on the right. So I think it's a great coverage option. Obviously, he's got injury problems, but he didn't have a whole lot of injuries last year. His longest injury was 2 weeks, and that was from playing in the under-23s, which I will not be playing him in under-23s. But other 3 other injuries were just days, so hopefully he can stay fit for us as well. I'm hoping we can, but some other sales we made. Lucas Nemecha, just a 2.5-star striker that's not a striker because he has 11 finishing. So when Roma came in for $32.5 million, I bit their hand off. Like, that's a good deal. And another sell, Yangel Herrera, a decent little center mid. He's got 3-star potential, but he's 23 years old. He could reach that, but we just didn't need him. We've got plenty of midfield options. So I figured I'd sell him. No reason to use him just to loan him out when you can get $18.5 million for him now. Who knows what his value will go like in the future. And then just a bunch of other youngsters we sold for basically nothing with big sale-on clauses. Sergio Aguero, also another guy that left on a free to PSG. But he's really our only major loss from the first team. So our team is pretty strong. If you look at the squad. Oh, I'm also making one other signing. Serginho Dest is going to come in as right back and left back cover. Obviously, João Cancelo is still injured from those damaged cruciate ligaments. Another 6 weeks to 3 months. So we're going to miss him for the first couple months of the season. So I needed another option there. We've got Kyle Walker, who also got injured last season. But we also have Gabriel Menino. But we don't have anyone else after that. I brought in Issa Kabore, which is just a youngster that's okay. He's really fast, but pretty good mentally. 19 off the ball is ridiculous. But his technicals are just really bad. So I don't want to start him if I can avoid it. So I'm going to bring in Serginho Dest. He can play on the right side. He can play on the left side. Since we're down to only 7 subs this year, I want a fullback that can play both sides. Obviously, Cancelo can do that. So once he's back, he's going to come in there and be the backup right back and left back. But I need someone while he's injured, and that's going to be Serginho Dest. His wages aren't too bad. No extra fees on top of it. So we've got plenty of money. So I figured I might as well get him in. Just more cover. But that's the squad. Now we're playing Arsenal in the Community Shield. This is the squad I'm going with. Lukaku up top. Sterling and Mahrez. Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne. Still the same team you expect. Rodri gets the start in defensive midfield. He had the better season of all the defensive midfielders last season. Alaba, Laporte, Ake has to start because Ruben Diaz is injured for 7 to 10 weeks. And Benjamin Mendy's injured for 8 to 2 weeks, which has nothing to do with the center backs, but whereas John Stones is injured, there he is, for 5 to 10 days. So we're down 2 starting center backs. Also, where's the other one at? Ahmed Hodzic. Actually, he's fit. He might well come on the bench. So he can be on the bench. But we have to play Nathan Ake, Kyle Walker at right back, Ederson in goal. Supposedly he had a good season last year. He was kind of iffy to me, but we'll see. See how he does this season. But this is the squad. Let's get into the game. See if we can win the Community Shield. I'm not too fussed about it, but I'd still like to win it. I mean, it shows we're on the right track if we can get a few goals and play really well, especially going forward. Lukaku hopefully will get involved. He did well in the preseason, so hopefully we can do well. I'm going to say these fans have been fantastic for us. They're the ones who really pay your wages. Go out there and win the trophy for them. No one cares, but they love Faith. It should be a great occasion out there today, shouldn't it? The fans are excited, and I'm looking forward to it. It's never ideal to lose players to get international duty, of course, but is it perhaps easier when Gabriel Menino misses out on what many people consider a more comfortable match for Man City? You do realize they won the league last year, right? I really don't know how to answer that question, because you're an idiot. So this is a squad. I'll show you the other formation I'm using for away games. I don't know if I'll still probably play this for Newcastle, because they're not very good. Arsenal are playing a little bit weakened squad. Lacazette on the bench, Pepe on the bench, Leno on the bench. So they've gone with a backup goalkeeper. I don't know if there's an injury problem or if they just want to rotate a little bit for this match. They don't really care about it. But they've got a lot of new players in there. Jesus, however you pronounce it. That's the Roma man. And a couple other players. Tan, Koopa Miners, and a couple others. So some new signings for them. But we have a new signing as well. Only one new signing in the first team. Well, kind of two if you count Alaba, but I don't really count Alaba because he played here all of last season. Sterling, not good enough. Gets tackled in the box. I was hoping it would be a penalty, but can't be that lucky. Rodrigo picks up the long ball, though. Back to Laporte. Over to De Bruyne, who was European Player of the Season last year. Best player in Europe was the name of the award. So, yeah, he had an amazing season, even though he was injured for a little bit. And Bernardo Silva gets this season started off well. He did not do well last season. He really disappointed me last season. But he starts off this season hot, getting a goal in the first competitive game of the season. And, of course, it's David Alaba with the assist. He was pretty good last season, Alaba that is. So it's good to see him start this season off well as well. They've got Origi up top as well, so that's not great. I mean, they obviously signed Origi, and I don't know why you would start him up top if you had the choice of not starting him up top. But whatever, they want to rest Lacazette. They obviously don't care about this game as much as I do. As Lukaku barely whizzes one wide. He could have got his debut goal in his debut for Manchester City, but he puts it just a little bit wide. That would have been great. That would have been a great start to this game, but not that lucky. Hopefully he can still get a goal this game. I want to see him pop up with a goal or an assist. Just get involved in the play. He's got an okay average rating so far, 6.9. So obviously he's doing pretty well. Ake is the only player really struggling. And it looks like we're going to go into halftime with a 1-0 lead. Nothing really happened after that first highlight. We saw one other highlight where Lukaku barely missed the back of the net. But other than that, nothing happened. Arsenal didn't have a single shot. We're looking pretty good. This is a neutral venue as well, so it's not like we're at home and using home field advantage. Like, this is a neutral venue. Both teams come into this with everything, balanced between them. So there's no advantage for either team. Say don't get complacent out there. Send the boys back out. Lukaku's a little bit tired. Obviously, they had the Euros, which Belgium did win, and Lukaku won top goal scorer in the Euros. So that's pretty cool. And he won best goal scorer in the Champions League, too. So I think he's a good option for striker. I think he's going to score us quite a few goals. Hopefully he'll score us quite a few goals. I'd like to see him start this game, but he's really tired. I might have to take him out. Got Barbosa on the bench. I'll bring him on. I think he can automatically move to false 9, yeah. Don't want Gabby Barbosa playing as a deep lying forward if I can avoid it. But he'll get his debut as well. Hopefully it'll be a good debut. Obviously, Lukaku's was okay. He didn't score any goals, but he didn't step a foot wrong. He played fine. So I'm okay with that. I mean, the problem last season was Gabby Jesus was either okay or completely awful. So to see Lukaku come in and not score a goal and still have a decent rating, I'm happy with that. This should be Kevin De Bruyne stepping up for this penalty. And it is. And he's going to bury it. Kevin De Bruyne, the best player in the team, the best midfielder in the world, scores the goal. I don't think you can argue that he's the best midfielder in the world. Who else would it be? Kevin De Bruyne is the best, without a doubt. Rodrigo's on a yellow and is tired, so I'll take him out for Fernandinho. Sterling's tired, but he's playing well. De Bruyne is playing well. I mean, we've got the lead, so I can avoid to rest De Bruyne, especially if we get a goal here, which we don't. I'll rest De Bruyne, bring on Gundogan, Or let's bring on Phil Foden. Give the youngster a little bit of game time. Is that all? We get more than 3 subs. So I'll take off Sterling as well. Bring on Ox. Hopefully he doesn't get injured. That would stink. Gonna praise the team. Do I have another sub? I think I have one last sub. David Alaba will come off. Actually, we don't have a backup left back on the bench. Laporte's kind of our backup left back. So I'll take off Laporte instead. Bring on Ahmed Hodzic. I think that's all of our subs. No, it says we still have another. Mahrez for... Okay, let's make a little change around here. Phil Foden will go out for Mahrez. And Gundogan will come in. Can I just take... I can sub every player, apparently. I guess there's unlimited subs in the Community Shield. So that's good. Looks like we're going to win, though. An utterly dominant win. 16 shots, 8 on target. I think they had 1 shot on target. Can I see the... No one, let me see it. But we win the Community Shield. We get our first trophy of the season. Not the one I want, though. I'm more concerned about the Champions League. That's the only trophy I want to win. I don't really care about winning the Premier League. I don't really care about winning the FA Cup. Obviously, we did it last year. Same with the EFL Cup. But the Champions League is the whole point of this series. To win the Champions League with a team that's never won it, that's gotten so close. But just to put them over the top and give them the Champions League victory they know they've wanted for so many years. We're starting off this season well, though. I'm happy to starting the season off with a 2-0 win over the league winners last season. Congratulations, lads. I'm happy with your performances out there. Enjoy your success. Congratulations, Ryan. How pleased are you to win the FA Community Shield? This is for the fans. To be able to win trophies and give them moments like this is what it's all about. Lukaku with a good debut. We are accepted the loan for Serginho Dest. Lukaku makes his return to English football. Lukaku's a little bit tired. He's going to be all right. I'll see you in a few days for the Newcastle match. We've got a week break, so I'll see you. For me, it'll be a couple minutes. For you, it'll be just a moment. And we are back on the day of the Newcastle game, the first game of the Premier League season. I'm going to go with an unchanged lineup. We don't have any of our injuries back, so we've still got some players out, especially at center back. We're a little bit weak there with Nathan Ake having to start. But I think we'll be all right. We did well against Arsenal, so the same squad should do well against Newcastle. The only changes are on the bench. Ferran Torres comes back on the bench. Camavinga comes on the bench for Fernandinho. This is a team we should be beating, so if we can get Camavinga some football, I'll want to do that. But I'm still going to start with Rodri. Or do I? Do I start with Rodri or do I go with Camavinga? It is at home. Screw it. We're putting Camavinga out there, giving him his debut. Serginho Dest also comes on the bench. Being able to play both right back and left back is going to be really nice. Other than that, it's the same squad. Do I bring in anyone else? Honestly, I think I want to keep Riyad Mahrez out there just because he needs some match sharpness. Otherwise, I might have started Phil Foden. I don't really want to take anyone else out. They played so well, so I think I'm going to go with that. The only change being Camavinga brought into the starting lineup. Let's see how he does. Let's get on and play this game. See if we can get a comfortable victory. I'm going to say we own Newcastle after what happened in our last match. Go out there and get revenge. I don't even remember losing to Newcastle. That's not good. I have faith. Everyone's motivated. If you were Ralph Hasenhüttl, and you're in Ralph Hasenhüttl's position, would you have transfer listed Darnell Furlong? Don't even know who that is. You have any sort of relationship with Steve Bruce? We have a great relationship, and I value it immensely. I love old Stevie. Lukaku, hopefully he can have another solid game up front. Hopefully he can get a goal. I want to see him get his debut goal for us. Hopefully he can be in this game. They're playing a pretty strong squad. They got Saigankov on the right-hand side. A couple other new signings I'm not really sure I've heard of, but I know Saigankov's a decent player. Some teams have already played, but... So, Liverpool won their first match. Hopefully we can get a big enough win. We can go top of the table after this match. That would be cool. I want a comfortable victory in this game. Just really set the tone for the season. We're going to start with David Alaba. He was pretty much the whole offense last match. Everything came down David Alaba's side. As an attack, again, comes down his side, but the shot goes off the bar, it looked like. Maybe the post. Mahrez with the corner now. I've said all their free kick takers and everything like that. As Laporte gets another goal. For a guy that you don't really think of as a goal-scoring threat, Laporte scores quite a few goals. I mean, he is 6'3". He has decent heading. I've actually changed to make Lukaku my number one target from corners this season. I think he's a little bit better physically than Laporte is. So I wanted to make him the main target for all the corners. And it'll help him stay in good goal-scoring form. But that time, Laporte gets on the end of it, and he finds the back of the net. We go 1-0 up, 8 minutes in. Camavinga with a good tackle there into Lukaku, holding it up just like I want him to. Dropping deep, holding up the play, bringing the midfielders and the wingers into the play. De Bruyne goes back to Walker. Might look for an early ball, but instead goes for Camavinga. Switches it to Alaba. Alaba's running at the right back. Puts the ball across, and it's a Romelu Lukaku goal. Somehow it didn't get an assist for Alaba. I don't know how, because it looked like it was just a cross right to Lukaku. Maybe it hit off another player before it got there. I don't know, but Lukaku gets his first Manchester City goal. That's all that matters. Let's watch this ball come across. I think Lewis hit it off Lukaku and it went in the back of the net. I think that's what happened. Pretty sure Lewis cleared it off Lukaku and it went back to the net. So Lukaku's first ever Manchester City goal is pretty much an own goal. Basically as close as you can get to an own goal without it actually being an own goal. But I'll take it. I'll take any goal we can get. We're 2-0 up. Again, I said I wanted to make it. Oh my gosh. Raheem Sterling, what are you doing? Just dribbled it directly to their attacker. Right to Callum Wilson. I don't know what he was thinking there. De Bruyne with a free kick. Now, he can score these. He can score these. Kevin De Bruyne. His second goal of the season. Both from set pieces. One a penalty. One a free kick. He's so good. He's just so good at everything. He's an amazing free kick taker. He's an amazing penalty taker. He's amazing at getting assists. He's amazing at scoring. He's just the perfect midfielder. The absolute perfect midfielder. I've never used a midfielder as good as Kevin De Bruyne. I've never used a region midfielder as good as Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is just fantastic. I love everything about Kevin De Bruyne. Unfortunately, he's 30. That's the only really big downfall is that he doesn't have a whole lot of years left in this league, unfortunately. Maybe 2, 3, 4 at the most good years. Especially playing as a Mazzala, he's going to lose his physicals sooner rather than later. And it is 3. David Alaba, again, being involved in the play, puts the ball across to Mahrez, and Mahrez gets his first goal of the season. We are 4-0 up in 30 minutes. We're doing as I'd hoped. I wanted to set a message for the rest of the league that we are here to dominate, and we have started off just like that. 4 goals against Newcastle in our opening game. Getting goals from a bunch of different people. De Bruyne, Mahrez, Lukaku. Plenty of different goal scorers. And this is starting well. I'm very happy with this. Hopefully this is another goal, because I just want to put up a cricket score on him. If we can win 10-0, that'd be nice. I would take a cheeky 10-0. Bernardo Silva now, I need to see him play well. He obviously did well last game, got a goal. Gets past his man, and dude, Bernardo Silva finds the back of the net. Just dribbles from his own half, pretty much, around every single defender, and places it to the left-hand side of the goalkeeper, it looked like. Yep, from his own half, picks it up, just dribbles past everybody. He's not really a guy you'd expect to just take the ball from his own area and dribble past everybody, but wow, what a play that is from Bernardo Silva. Hopefully this is his season, because last season was a disappointment, but he started this season amazingly. This could be Bernardo Silva's season. Mahrez with another corner. We might score again. Looking for, I think that was Laporte who got on the end of it, but he couldn't quite win the ball. De Bruyne picks it up, though, into Ake, to Camavinga, who's played fine this game. He's been wonderful. He's been right where I need him to be. Being that kind of deep-lying playmaker. Being a backup option for every single pass. He's always there in a lot of space, ready to receive the pass. De Bruyne, ooh, that's a terrible shot. That was a terrible shot. That was going for a throw-in, possibly, before it hit the defender. But 5-0 at halftime. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think I'll take that. They have 1 shot. We have 5 goals. I think we're doing well. I'm delighted with your performance. A wonderful start to the season. As soon as anybody gets a little bit tired, they're immediately coming off because I don't need to rest. I need to rest them. De Bruyne, he's not on a hat trick, is he? No. Laporte, Lukaku, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Silva. 5 different goal scorers. Bring on Phil Foden. I want to give Foden as much game time as possible. He was a little bit of a disappointment last season. Hopefully he can step up a little bit this season. Lukaku's tired. I'll take him off. Bring on, whoops, not Ox. Ferran Torres. And they brought on Ox. Great. I guess Raheem Sterling's coming off. Or Bernardo Silva. Who do I take off? They're both tired. I'll take off Raheem. Let's bring on Ferran Torres. Made all my subs in the 66th minute, but I don't think even if we get an injury, I don't think we're going to lose this match. I don't think even with down a man, we might even be better than them down a man still. Oh yeah, Ferran Torres is on the corners now. That's not ideal. I don't think I need to change it. This game's not going anywhere. We don't need to score more goals. They're not going to be scoring enough goals to beat us, so do as you please. Ferran Torres, win some headers for us. That's the only bad thing about having Lukaku as your main target is whenever you sub him off, we don't have any other good targets at striker that are going to be winning headers. We've got Gabriel Barbosa and Ferran Torres, and Sterling can play there. Not great options in the air. But I want to get Lukaku as involved in this game as I can get, because obviously we paid a lot of money for him, so we kind of need to get him involved to make up for as much money as we paid him. As Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain gets his first goal for Manchester City, and off the post, it's 6, and we have time for more. Alaba again involved in the play. He has dominated this match. Puts the ball across, hits the defender, falls to Chamberlain, hits the inside of the post, and goes in. It's 6. It's an embarrassment. What a game this has been. Alba looking for another goal involvement, but eventually finds his way to Foden, who can easily score that, but he doesn't. Dubravka with a great save. He probably should have gone across the goalkeeper there. I think he had a better chance going across the goalkeeper than he did going to the near post. Looking for a corner. Again, we have Ferran Torres looking to get on the end of it. That's not ideal. I don't care, though. They have terrible ratings this game. All of our players are on good ratings. Literally, Foden and Ferran, the two substitutes, the only ones not above a 7. Even Chamberlain's above a 7 now because of that goal. A 6-0 victory. Pretty much deserved it. I don't know if we deserved 6. We had 3 XG, a little over 2.5 XG. But we had 66% possession. They had 3 shots, 1 on target. We had 13 shots on target. I think we deserve that win. David Alaba is the man of the match. Abso-freaking-lutely. He was fantastic. I'm very happy with the result and the way you played. Such a positive result must have gone down well with you. Will the players be getting a day off as a result? Absolutely. To say that particular result was on the cards would be an exaggeration. Just how pleased are you by this outcome? It's an absolutely superb win for everyone involved, and I expect the supporters will savor it for some time. Great start to the Premier League season. We go top of the table. Liverpool won by 4, but we won by 6. Camavinga makes his debut, and it was very good in his debut. Lukaku was pretty good in his first Premier League game. Gets his first Manchester City goal. Alaba, man of the match, 2 assists, 5 key passes, 88% of his tackles won. Great game by David Alaba. The Champions League group stage will be coming up soon. That's probably when I'll be back for you next time. Whenever that gets decided, I'll probably come back for one of those games. I don't see any other games that are apparently that are ones that I need to play, like the EFL Cup third round. If we get a big draw there, maybe we'll come back for Tottenham in the EFL Cup third round, but we'll see. I'll play on a little bit. Obviously, Liverpool are up there, but there's nowhere else to play. Liverpool Leeds, but that's just 2 games in between. I want to play a little bit more than that. So I'll see you in a little bit. But if you've made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. Links to all my socials are also in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.